Justice is...
Justice is...
That word, justice.
Justice is...
Justice, my definition.
Justice is...
Justice is...
Justice is...
Justice is...
in my opinion, justice is doing whatever you can to find out a way to level the playing field as much as possible.
We all as humans have this sense of righteousness. I feel like we are all born with knowing what's right and what's wrong. And so I feel like for those, depending on the situation, I feel like you know what the right thing to do is.
Justice is the compassion between one person and another.
That word, justice, it means a lot. It means standing up and going and do what you need to do in order for things to get better.
To me, social justice would be lending a voice to people who have been previously disenfranchised from the system.
Justice, to me, is a struggle for equality, plain and simple.
You need to get angry, get up, and create some madness and let somebody know what's on your mind. If you don't do that, then you won't get your social freedom, your justice that you want, that you're longing for.
Justice is strength and going after what you think is right.
Do what you think is most important in your heart, and don't be afraid to be active. Don't be afraid because, you know, your parents or someone else says, well, you shouldn't get involved in that. I never believed in stopping yourself for the right thing because of what others said. So follow your heart and keep your heart open.
It's a New Orleans where young people can be employed and be utilized and their gifts be lifted up. It's a New Orleans where everyone will have an opportunity to take advantage of the rights that we have as human beings to live a good quality of life, a healthy life surrounded with community and family.
Tens of thousands of people have been stranded.
My mother is 83 years old. She's in dire need of her heart medication. There's no medical services here. She's on the floor. She's dying.
Face new challenges from disease and environmental contamination.
Of it is just heartbreaking, but I think the greatest threats remain.
37,000 is roughly 10% of the population of New Orleans. In fact, it's more than 10%.
Well, basically, I got a phone call, and the phone call said, 1 million youth are coming to New Orleans with orange shirts, and do you want some? And I took the challenge.
The streets were filled with orange t-shirts.
Just people needed to know that for me, that others were out there, they were wanting to help, because I feel like a lot of New Orleanians felt left behind, especially after a year or two after Katrina, all the media went away. So it was really great to see that the community members felt like, wow, these kids from all over the United States came to see me, they came to talk to us, and they came to be involved in the community.
Say hi.
They want to come and volunteer and really make a difference in the community. And the community feels that. It feels that there is no agenda behind it. It's just pure volunteering and help the community. And that has such an impact with the people.
here in New Orleans to make a difference, and you're here to help the community come back, but there are communities where you live that also need the same help. How do you take these youth organizing and advocacy principles, pick them up and take them where you are and change a life where you live?
We're 7 years past Katrina. They should not expect a disaster scene. The set of problems that we have now are things like blighted housing, tens of thousands of blighted houses. And blighted houses drag down the spirit and the value of the neighborhood. They keep people from moving in. And so our problems are not quite what they might see if they view a documentary about Katrina. The water's all pumped away, the debris has been picked up, but they're deep-rooted problems that serve to as stumbling blocks for the city to progress, and that's where the attention should be focused.
Just like to see things come back, like the mall, Methodist Hospital. I just I like everybody just to come back and help build the community.
Increasingly, with each passing year, I'm amazed at how much the city has recovered. And in many ways, we are more robust. We have a new sense of civic engagement in the city. There's a new vibrancy and appreciation because, you know, when you almost lose something you love, you come back loving it doubly.
Tourists come into the city and they just think about Bourbon Street and going partying and drinking, but it's more than that. New Orleans has a very, very rich culture that people outside of the city, they don't understand. We go to each other's houses and sit on the porch and talk. Nobody else does that.
It was never a question in my mind that New Orleans was and is and always will be home. I've left New Orleans several times. It's always something that draws you back home. So that was never a doubt in my mind that I wanted to be a part of the rebuilding effort that was underway.
I've written 6 books about the city. I've been studying it well over 15 years. And the more I learn, the more I'm amazed at how little I know. The stories are rich, they're complex, and New Orleans is one of those cities that you could never quite know entirely. We have lost our coastal defense system, and all you need now is a surge of energy in the form of a tropical storm to bring the Gulf of Mexico, and the enemy comes within your fort.
When the mayor said leave, I left because my mom is blind. So, and funny thing, she's the only one in the house that can actually swim. Left my dad in the house because he said he needed to go to work the next day. We didn't find him until about 6 months later.
Then came the stagnation of this incredible city that was predicted 200 years ago, routinely predicted to become the most affluent and biggest and most powerful city in the Western Hemisphere, some said, ended up stewing in its own filth for almost a month.